Welcome to Invo Inventory video. Before I start explaining the inventory, I'd like to point a few facts that you should know. Selling in a store a physical product is different than selling a dish in a restaurant. When you sell a product, you have one item related to the inventory. However, selling a dish in a restaurant, it is related with more than one inventory item. It is highly recommended to use Invo Inventory so that you can monitor each item within your inventory. It gives you a detailed reports and watch over your expenses. In Invo, you have to create the whole list of your restaurant ingredients together with all your suppliers. Before you create the list in Invo, you need to list the ingredients of all your menu items. With the chef and the purchase manager, take down in a piece of paper the measurements, price, including supplier's name. Then you can go to User, Setting, Main Setting, Inventory. Here, you should start creating new items. But before you create the list of items, first create your suppliers where your purchase manager ordered the items from. Go to Supplier tab and add name of the supplier. I will add, for example, Carrefour. You can put their phone number, their contact person's name, and email address for your future references. And done! Now you can add all your suppliers. I will add 2 more suppliers for you to understand more. After adding the supplier's name, you can add the list of your ingredients. For example, I have falafel on my menu, and the falafel mainly consists of chickpeas, onion, parsley, garlic, salt, cumin, and black pepper. I need to add each item in the list, but before that, as you already know that most of the restaurant buy from the suppliers in a form of pack in a wholesale price. For example, the chickpeas. Chickpeas can be bought from the supplier in a form of carton pack. But inside of each carton are dozens of bags, and each bag weighs 450 grams. Another example is oil. Sometimes you buy it in a form of gallon, and sometimes you bought it in a form of cartons. Each carton usually consists of 16 bottles, and each bottle consists of 1 liter. Each supplier provided you with different form of packaging and different prices. The reason why I'm explaining this to make you understand the bigger picture while adding the items. Now that you know all your ingredients and your supplier name along with the price and in which form you are purchasing your ingredients, now let's go back to Invo and add the list of the menu. I will add the falafel ingredients. First, chickpeas. Go to Inventory Items, Add, enter the name which is chickpeas, main pack in which form of packaging you bought the item. I will put carton. Unit cost is the price of this carton. The carton cost is $54. On hand is how many cartons you are having right now in your inventory. Leave it as is for now, because there is an easier and correct way to add the quantities for all the items at once that I will be explaining later. You fill up also the inventory group, barcode, inventory location, where your inventory located, and description if you want more details. I will explain this later with an example. Date is your reference in case you want to know the last time you edited the particular item. The reason I explained earlier about this is that we have to add them here. Go to Packing and Add. As I mentioned earlier, each carton in a chickpeas bags has a dozen bags, and each bag is weighing 450 grams. I'll add each carton has 12 bags. Shrinkage is for the items that won't be used as a whole. Suppose you have a chicken and it's known that the chicken comes with bones. The bones weight will be counted as shrinkage. There is no shrinkage in chickpeas, so I will add only this by clicking Done. And add again. Each. Choose bags. Provides 453 grams. Now you can see that inside the carton, there are 12 bags, and inside the bags, 453 grams. Then you should pick which supplier is providing you with this item. Go to the Supplier tab and pick the supplier's name that is providing you with this certain item. You can put the item code if you know it. I know I am using Arrowhead Meals brand. So I will put Arrowhead Meals. First supplier is providing it in a form of carton. So I will choose carton and add the price. Some suppliers refuse to bring a small quantity for you, so you can write a note for your future references and include his tax rate to count your expenses properly. Maybe other suppliers providing it in a form of bag. You can choose bag and add the bag price here and click Done. If your supplier provides different brands of the same item or different form of packaging, you can go back to the Supplier tab and choose the supplier, Item Supplied tab, enter the brand name here, and choose your packaging form and add its cost. Add the item again to add another brand, and enter the other brand name with its cost and click Done. You can repeat the process for the rest of the items to add them. I will add them now with a fast forward. Okay, now I have added the chickpeas, onion, parsley, garlic, salt, cumin, and black pepper. But there is one more item that I did not mention before, which is the falafel bag or container for packing. You can add that in your inventory. For the packing, I am using this type of containers, and I'm buying them in a form of bulk. Each bulk contains of 10,000 containers. Add, name small container. The main pack is bulk. The cost of each bulk is 500. This container will be used only when they order delivery, takeaway, and car service. And I don't want the system to count it if they order the item for dine-in. We prefer serving it on plate. This is the reason we've added this. So, I should disable the dine-in service to avoid counting it when ordering dine-in. As for the rest of the fields, they are like any other item. When you finish, click Done. After finish adding all the items, you should link the ingredients to your menu items. Go to Menu Recipe. Here you will find all your menu items. As I mentioned earlier, to list the dish's ingredients and the measurements, you will use it here. I added the falafel items, so I'll open the falafel by double-clicking or click in Edit and add the items related to the dish. Click Add and choose them. After adding all the ingredients of the menu item, a table with the lists of them will show. Now you have to enter the measurements of each item to this particular dish. You have packing. You can choose from here the form of packing you are using for this dish. You have the unit use, which is the measurement of these ingredients. And if you added the unit use, Invo will directly count everything for you. I will finish my measurements now for this dish. After finishing the measurements, you will have a lot of information showing for you here. The additional cost is usually used for the cost that used to make this dish. Some restaurants count the gas or the chef's salary included to this dish, and some restaurants that offer grills, they count the charcoal cost for the dish. After entering all the information, you will see that Invo is providing you with the cost shrinkage. In case the dish contains chicken and bones will be removed, it will count it and the total cost. The total price down is your dish price. Net profit is your profit from this certain dish. In case you are not profiting from the dish, it will show in minus. Indicates that you need to increase its price or find another supplier that offers you less prices of all your ingredients. This is how you set up your inventory. After setting up your inventory, you need to add the quantities you currently have. I don't recommend you to add them from the inventory items directly. It is better to add them from purchase order. Go to Purchase Order and add PO number is the number of PO that you create is for the future reference. Status is the status of the purchase order which you can use for your reference. Dates are for your reference too. Since each supplier has its own delivery date, you can add separate PO for each supplier. First, choose the supplier. Click on Supplier and choose the supplier that you received the items from or you want to order from. Note is for your reference. Then you can create a list of the inventory items that you will order or you receive. Click Add Inventory Items. Choose them and click Pick. After adding them, they will show in a table. The barcode of your supplier will show here if there is one. Item name. Packing form you are going to purchase. Supplier item code is your reference. Quantity is the quantity you will order for the packing. I need 10 boxes. Unit price is the price of one pack. Today, the supplier is feeling generous, so he will give me the item with 50. I will change it to 50. Tax rate is the supplier tax, 5%. Received is the quantity that you have received. It will be added in the inventory directly. Since I didn't receive it yet, I will keep it 0. Lastly, you can add the shipping price down here. The delivery cost is $10 US. You will notice once you add this Invo, will calculate everything for you and give you more details, like subtotal, the total tax, and the total bill. If you ordered everything previously and received the invoice from the supplier and notice there is different in the invoice, you can immediately contact the supplier, informing them that there is something wrong. Some suppliers require this purchase order in order to bring you what you need. You can print it or export it to send through email. And if you receive all the products, you don't need to enter the quantity received for each product. You can simply click Receive All and the quantities will be directly added to your inventory. If you will click Done, the PO will be marked as open with its reference number. Let's say the supplier sent you the items after 1 day, but he forgot a few items or some items are out of stock. You can come back and open the purchase order. Enter the quantity received for each item and click Done. The items you've received will be added to your inventory, but the purchase order status will change to partially received. You can access it from here. Or in case you have more than one PO, you can filter all the partially received ones from here, or search its ID here. And after receiving all items, you can come back and mark it and receive all. It will complete the quantities in your inventory item. Finally, we have physical count. Physical count usually happens at the end of the month. The in-charge person counts every physical items at the end of the month to do the physical count. The first step is to click New Physical Count, All Item. The whole inventory list will show up for you. You must print it and let the person in charge of the inventory count each item and record its quantity on the printed paper. After you receive the counts, you can start inserting the quantities he found in the inventory. After entering all the quantities, click Calculate. Invo will calculate the usage of the month and give you all the statistics. It will give the expected amount that you should have in the inventory and how much is missing. Down here, you will see the value of your inventory. If something happened due to unexpected circumstances, it will be easier to pull out the report of your inventory and claim from the insurance company. Total differences is the missing amount price. In case you don't have any differences, or maybe small differences, it will be fine. Perhaps the chef used more than the written quantity. But if the differences are noticeable, there must be a question mark. A meeting with the team questioning them about it will solve it. Or you can send the person in charge to count it again. After counting it again, you can come back here to recalculate and insert the updated count and press Calculate again. In case you finish from everything, click Comet. What Comet will do is remove the old quantities and replace them with the new ones to start with next month. This is all about the inventory. At first, you might find it complicated, but once you get used to it, you will find it very easy. It really serves you well with the detailed reports that are incorporated with it.